Rumors are swirling around the UFC that for UFC 313, Alex Pereira versus Khamzat Chimaev are getting booked for the light heavyweight UFC title. And this is reported by My Mixtapes. Don't know what the validity is on this source, but I've seen a lot of pages tweeting this out, a lot of MMA pages talking about this. We even have Robert Whittaker talking about it.
Say that because I saw a rumor that Chimaev might go up and fight Pereira. Imagine that. That.
This would truly be Alex's proper wrestling test. Who wins?
Chimaev, easily. Not easily.
So there it is. We even have Robert Whittaker chiming in, saying that he thinks that Chimaev would beat Pereira. And we get this tweet last week from Pereira himself that he says, "It won't be Ankalaev," with a crying emoji. I don't know why there's the crying emoji. Ankalaev is probably the worst possible matchup for him right now, not named Jon Jones or Alex Pereira. But Ankalaev is his hardest fight in his division, so he should be very happy that his next fight is not going to be Ankalaev, even though it should be. His last fight should have been Ankalaev, but that's besides the point. We're talking about Chimaev here. So who do we think wins the fight versus Pereira and Chimaev? A lot of people have been saying that due to Pereira being the much bigger fighter, I put that in air quotes, that he will beat Chimaev. But I have pulled up here on the next tab, Pereira is 6'4", big guy. But a big guy himself is Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev has always bounced between 185 and 170, people seem to forget. They're like, oh, he fought Gilbert Burns, used to be 155 here. Yeah, sure he did, but he bounced between these, and he is huge for both weight classes. So him fighting Pereira, who's also fought at 185, this is a fine matchup. No one's insanely bigger than the other one. Pereira is stronger, but not by an insane amount. Like, he's a way harder hitter, but Khamzat's strength is up there with it. He is one of the strongest wrestlers in his division and in the UFC. We go to Pereira's recent fights here since he got to the UFC. We have Andreas Michailidis, Bruno Silva, Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya twice, Jan Blachowicz, Jiri Prochazka twice, Jamaal Hill, and Khalil Roundtree. Notice one thing about all of those fighters. Not a single one of them is a grappler or a submission artist first. They are all strikers first, every single one of these fighters. He has not faced a strong wrestling or grappling matchup since coming to the UFC and starting his MMA career. We know Khamzat Chimaev, people call him the Mike Tyson of grappling, right? This guy is one of the best grapplers out there in the UFC of all time. I think he is one of the worst matchups for Pereira in the UFC. And this would be a super fight. This would be a crazy matchup. They could promote the heck out of this thing. They could make this fight massive, but it is not an easy matchup. At this rate, I don't know why they wouldn't just do Ankalaev, because if Pereira beats Khamzat, which he definitely can beat Khamzat, people are going to be like, oh, he won't face the wrestler in his division. Why is he fighting Khamzat? He needs to be fighting Ankalaev. They're going to start calling him a duck, which those words have been thrown out there, but because of how often Pereira fights, you can't really call him a duck, even though the best ranked person in his division, he has avoided fighting, whether it's him avoiding it, Ankalaev avoiding it, the UFC avoiding it. It's not happened yet, is the bottom line. But him versus Chimaev isn't very much of an easier fight, if it is at all. Khamzat's grappling is very aggressive. One of the best grapplers versus someone who's not a grappler. His whole fighting career, he's been a kickboxer coming into MMA. I don't care how much wrestling defense you've done in the past few years, you cannot keep up with someone like Khamzat, who's been wrestling and grappling his whole life. It's just not going to work out well. So if this fight happens, who do you guys think wins, Pereira or Chimaev? I would like to see what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know who you guys think wins this one. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.